Looking back on this run so far, what do you feel like has been the biggest key to getting to this stage so far?
Our intensity on defense, our ability to shut down the run, minus 3 or 4 big plays early in the Cherubusco game, week one. Our defense has been dialed in, they've been focused. When you can stop the run this time of year, gives yourself a chance. And, they did against a very good east side power rushing attack. And did it again last week. I don't think we gave up a first down, one first down in the first half. They're playing lights out and they're communicating. So that's where it starts. Our success and where we're at right now. The challenge is to sustain that on the defensive side. Maybe even crank it up a bit if it's possible. We're going to need it against a Bluffton team that can run the ball. They got several backs that can run the ball. They got a quarterback who's athletic, can run the ball, can play action. So we need to be dialed in all three levels on the defensive side. But the big challenge is for us to match that on the offensive end. We've showed spurts where we've been really good. Showed some spurts we haven't been very good. That's just all just a matter of focus throughout the week. That's what our big meeting today was about. Maintaining our focus that we have, Monday through Wednesday. We can't have any days off, particularly on a Thursday like we did last week. What we showed in the second quarter offensively, just a really sloppy play, was exactly how we performed on Thursday. So hopefully we're fortunate to be here where we're at, and hopefully kids can learn from all of these lessons compiled throughout the year. And, I like to think that the best of Luers football is ahead of us.
Speaking on some of those lessons, you've played your fair share of close games this year. Of course, Eastside comes to mind, Bishop Dwenger comes to mind. How does that help this team, just knowing they have been able to execute down the stretch in some of these tight contests?
I think it should give the kids a lot of confidence. That's one thing I am proud about this group of, among many other things. We've really grown up in terms of handling adversity, starting with the senior class and then trickling down. Into our junior sophomore classes who, historically the groups of kids have had their times where they've handled it, and they've also had times where they haven't. They've been pretty consistent this year and being able to perform late in tight games. Even the Homestead loss, I thought we played 48 minutes of really tough physical football. Defense was dialed in. We were able to keep them out of the end zone several times in the fourth quarter. Just moments like that throughout the year that should give kids a growing sense of confidence, and you can see that. When Cherubusco got out to the lead at halftime in week one, there was no panic in the kids. Probably a lot less panic in the stands behind us. But there wasn't panic in the kids. They looked at each other. They believed. We got into halftime. They said, we're going to come out. We're going to dominate the second half. They did just that. East side, we had our moments to put the game away. We didn't. Our defense was on the field quite a bit late in the game. And the defense, as they've done in all these tight situations, has given us opportunities to win. And, that makes me really proud to be their coach and see the maturity and the growth in those moments.
You kind of touched on some of the X's and O's with Bluffton a little bit earlier, but just what do you remember about last year's matchup with them on this field and how that's going to prepare for what's to come this Friday?
They do a lot of similar things. They like to run the ball. They got a big, strong offensive line. They're a group of kids that I think have probably benefited the most from last year's experience. I had spent some time talking with Coach Kunkel. I think last year they were happy to be at that level. I think this year they look to me like a team that they're not going to be happy to be here. Our kids, we stress that to them. They got a large group of seniors that are going to be hungry to pull out. I don't know the last time they won a regional was, but this is a moment that they've been training for the last 365 days. So, the challenge on our kids is to continue to grow, continue to get better, and to make sure that we are dialed in and focused Monday through Thursday, because that is where, that's where the game can be won or lost. If we have any lapses in focus on Friday night against this team, who is going to come in with a lot more confidence, we will not just have a tiger by the tail, no pun intended. They'll they'll take it to us if we play like we did for about 12 minutes on last Friday and periodically throughout the season. We need dialed in 48 minutes of Bishop Luers football, or it's gonna be a tough night.
For sure. Well, you take a look at this Friday. Also going to be our highlight zone game of the week. Only regional game in Fort Wayne, actually, which is weird to think about. But just what are you most excited about once you roll up to this field on Friday night?
Truthfully, this is a group that as a coaching staff, we have just enjoyed watching the kids compete. They play hard. They play physical. They fly around. There's a good blend of senior leadership, seniors who have experience, and first-year Friday night kids. It's been fun watching them each week face different bouts of adversity, different opponents. The one thing that we have we're proud of watching this kid is, again, just how hard they compete and how hard they play this game. And every Friday night I tell the kids I'm excited for them, excited to watch them. It's going to be a nice atmosphere, big atmosphere. It's gonna be the only game in town. I imagine it'll be a pretty rowdy crowd. I know Bluffton travels well. They got a very good following. They love their athletics in Bluffton. It's a very strong athletic program. So I love we've played in some big games this year. I don't know how many game of the weeks we've been part of, but I like watching how the kids respond and enjoy, really truthfully, just flat out enjoy watching them compete. I'm looking forward to that.